close. Like, he started off strong, but in the end, the trap we know and love came out on top. But here we go. Another PvP. This is a matchup where historically Trap does have the advantage, but in more recent time, Zest has been coming out on top. Zest has been a little bit more dominant over Trap. We'll see. We'll see how things change in 2021.
Yeah, I'll say Zest just beat Zaun, who is renowned for his PvP, so it's looking pretty good for him. Zest on the up and up.
Oh yeah.
As we what
What?
what
What?
what
Huh?
what
Huh?
what
Stop.
It might be me. It flashed attempting to reconnect earlier on. I may have to leave if that continues. Hopefully that was just once off. But regardless, we are going to be starting off this semifinals, a best of 5 here on Def Aura LE. I believe the first time we've seen Def Aura this evening, surprisingly. Here in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, getting cannon rushed. He is our Red Protoss player from South Korea, representing a Freak of Freaks. He is Trap.
And spawning in the top left, but also cannon rushing right now, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is Pink, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG, it is Zest. And this is why he's best.
Really is. When was the last time you saw Zest cannon rush?
Last week.
Yeah, actually.
We've been lucky enough
Zest
to...
has been doing a lot of cheese, but...
Yeah, we've been lucky enough to cast him even in ESL Open Cup Americas, and he does this whenever he can, specifically on Death Aura.
Unable to cancel one of these cannons. Trap with a very immaculate defense, honestly. Just completely shutting down these cannons. I don't think Trap Zest is going to get a single cannon up. He will get that block. And this is honestly kind of terrifying. Zest was very dedicated with this. He did not get a gateway behind the city.
He did not, as there's nothing but a forge at home. The cannon was dealt with. Sure, 3 probes did go down, and there was a lot of lost mining time, but Zest is so far behind in terms of tech. Actually goes Nexus first. My god.
Oh. Whoa.
Wait, no. Oh, the cannon! Oh, can he get the gas? Can he get it? Can he get it? Ah!
Oh.
Boy, no, he cannot.
Is the game lagging?
No, we're fine.
Okay, I don't have to leave yet.
Yeah, so far the game has been perfectly fine. We haven't had any kind of like major lag spikes or anything like that. But yeah, Zest, he is so... Oh, I spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. That was a lag.
Yeah.
What's going on in Singapore, mate?
Well, my ping to Korea just jumped up to 1690. Yeah, Alright, I'll leave.
Okay.
Time to check if my VPN turned itself on. It did not.
Oh boy. Tis a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully you're able to resolve any kind of issues. I can and I will quickly open up Discord and let's get my stream going.
Seek.
Go 30 FPS. Boom. Just for you.
Skadoosh.
Alright, so it's not going to be ideal, but, you know, we do the best we can, as Yaku is watching my POV on Discord, not at the highest quality, but it should be enough to make things out, as we see Trap is going on the counterattack, throwing down a proxy pylon in the center of the map.
Hey, what's he going to make?
I imagine he's just going to throw down the gateway just so we can continue to reinforce, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if he goes a little bit further, but GG gets called anyway.
That's all he needed. Trap are going to be taking game number 1 after an immaculate cannon rush defense.
Yeah. Again, Zest was so greedy going for a Nexus after the failed cannon rush. Like, what a madman, delaying his gateway for so long. Oh boy.
That was a commitment and a half.
Do you think you can do this, or do you want to... Alright,
Let's see. Fingers crossed. Korea has been kind of weird for me recently.
Oh. I can't leave. No.
What?
Was Pig in the last lobby? He was.
He was.
He was.
He was.
God. I was trying to leave. All right, all right.
Bad. Well, did you say you wanted to jump into what's it called? Sad stream?
Sure, but because he was committed to this series.
Ah, feels bad. Well, we'll get him in the next one as we continue on the series on Romanticide. LE standing for Lovers Evacuation, which is what happens when a pig steadily creeps up. Oh lord, it's happening. We have in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, the red Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea. He is representing Afrika Freaks. We have Trap.
If your ping spikes are continuing, oh, it should leave. Oh god.
Stabilizing of it? No, it's continuing to climb. Yeah, I'll leave this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh boy. Meanwhile, oh, thank you so much, Renegade, for the raid. We really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed your cast. I did see that you were towards the lower half of the bracket. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support.
Definitely appreciate it a lot. It's also really important just to spread out the coverage like so. So yeah, thanks a lot, Renegade.
Definitely. Oh boy. As things are, slowly getting underway here. Again, for the next lobby, we'll make sure to get Pig in here. I mean, Pig, we'll see if he is even available for the next lobby. It's possible that he could just go for the lower semifinals, just because I don't believe it's being covered. Or it is being covered by Steadfast, but yeah, we'll see. It is up to him. But yeah, we'll be more vigilant on that. God damn it. The players, they just started straight away.
Speaking of diligence, though, well, yeah, I guess that's kind of diligence on the players. Not so much, well, kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure Zest just wanted to get into the next game as soon as possible. Like after game number 1, where things just kind of ended abruptly. Oh boy. But this time, there's no cannon rush, nothing too crazy going on.
Yeah, this is Romanticide after all, a much more standard, much more macro map, and this is kind of the map that Zest, it feels like Zest prefers it. Whenever he can, he'll jump into it, get those 4 bases up and running, and then just do whatever, really. We're used to seeing him do that a lot more in PvZ. I don't actually remember what Zest likes to do in PvP when it comes to Romanticide.
Wait, something is wrong.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually not sure what's going on.
Hold on. There we go.
Am I roboting? What?
There we go. Yeah. We're good.
Hello? Yeah, I got worried for a sec.
Oh god, there was an issue with OBS, and it was like trying to capture a different screen. So for the first 3 minutes of this game, there is no visuals, unfortunately, for the stream. But we're back.
Yeah, I didn't really miss too much. To be completely honest, literally nothing happened. Both players just going very standard, very macro. They're both going for their Twilight Council, for their Forge. They're both going, Stalker, get a couple of sentries up and running. See how that does in the end.
They are. Matter. Yeah, we had some pretty standard openings. No one went for any kind of like low ground wall or anything like that. But yeah, so far so good when it comes to both these players. We do see a proxy pylon was thrown down for Trap. He is warping in a couple of adepts trying to sneak into the main of Zest. But Zest, he's here, he's ready, even has, I was about to say a probe.
Oh! Gets that block. And so the dance just continues.
That it does. I mean, Chappie's doing a decent job at, just keeping Zest at home, keeping him busy for now, but so far he hasn't really been able to achieve too much with these adepts. He does have 4 though. Ooh, was trying to juke that Stalker.
Nearly gets it.
That he does. Also, I do ask if you, like, I don't know, maybe restarting your clients would help out a little bit. I don't know if it would, but
it potentially might.
Yeah, it potentially might. Meanwhile, Trap, he does commit to the shade, but he just hasn't been able to achieve too much here. Oh my god.
Wow. Them force fields.
Yeah. Trap, he overcommitted a little bit there, and he ended up losing all of his adepts in the end. Thankfully, he does turn around and end up losing his sentries needlessly. Oh boy.
And so we continue. Waiting for one player to make a move.
God damn it, Yaku. I can tell that you're having trouble telling what's happening on the screen share.
I see probes being produced, and I was like, wait, how are they making oracles about Stargates?
Yeah.
You know what? We deal with the times.
We try. Oh god, try to get through these technical issues. Oh boy, but yeah, again, like, not too much has really been happening here. Both players, they are expanding. Would you see Trap is trying to sneak in with a couple of these Stalkers? Oh my god, actually, there's nothing here to defend for Zest. Oh my.
Yeah, a little too far forward. Zest was to his own army, and I was paying the price for it.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, we do see a recall, but a decent amount of damage was done. 5 probes and the sentries.
The last thing you want to really happen to you right now, if you are a Zest, a needless recall, and a lot of probes going down regardless. Trap, he is gonna have the upper hand for quite some time.
Yeah, a bit of a shame there by Zest. Meanwhile, we just see just a ramp up in terms of production. All these gateways are being thrown down for Trap. And we just see a switch into a Templar Archives as well. So maybe looking to get into some Archons, Charged Archon. I mean, actually, both players are switching into that.
The old song and dance.
Yeah.
I mean, used to that in PvP.
Yeah, it's become more of the norm. It's a bit of a shame. Disruptors aren't anywhere near as common. I would hope to get to see them at some point in this series. We'll see if the game does go on that long.
Yeah, Blink Disruptor is still a build that we see Protoss players do pretty often in PvP, but it's a lot trickier to pull off. A lot more micro-intensive compared to Charged Archon, where it's a lot more about positioning with this composition.
Yeah, as we see, Trap is attempting to establish his 4th base. He is currently dancing with the army of Zest, but at the same time, Zest was able to sneak past with his War Prism and a massive warping of Chargelets here into the main.
That's actually a lot of production that can get depowered. 2 of these gateways already going down. Meanwhile, the rest of the army of Zest in position to tackle that 4th base, forcing Trap to cancel, and it's pulling the entire army of his back, or most of it up back.
Yeah, and oh my god, it was a bit of an A move for Trap because he pulls everything back home to defend, and that exposes his natural, and now everything here is going to be going down. The Robo goes down, all of the workers as well. On top of that, the 4th was cancelled, and he's force field out of his main. Oh my god.
And the production is still depowered over here. Like, Trap cannot warp in what he needs to deal with the army of Zest. Zest is just going to run away with this.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just continuing to force field the ramp over and over again. I don't know what the hell just happened with Trap, but he was just pulled apart completely by that War Prism, by the play of Zest. There it is, another force field on the ramp.
I'm in shock right now. I'm assuming Trap just doesn't have the energy for recall. GG's called. Zest gonna type the series sideways 1-1.
Oh god.
Well played.
GG as we're getting set up. This time we will get Pig in here. There we go. As we are setting up that lobby. Get him in here. Oh. Right to game.
We got him.
We'll see if he wants to dive in.
Oh.
Never mind.
Apparently does not. He is committed to stat stream.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As we are tied up 1-1. Okay. Yeah, he is going for the other semis.
Gunning for it. Keeping my fingers crossed right now. My Ethernet cable's crossed. Oh boy. I didn't restart my client. Hopefully that helps things out as we continue our series here on Oxide LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in top right-hand corner. A red Protoss player coming down from South Korea. He is going to be representing Afrika Freaks. Are you free?
Down under.
He is the wing commander. He is gunning for that top Protoss position. He is Trap.
And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is pink, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG, it is Zest.
And I'm so relieved right now, like it appears anyway that my ping is stabilizing. It's still creeping up slowly, but it's at 80. So
thank God. Oh boy, oh boy. After this game, if things are fine, then I'll just end the Discord stream and we can get back to normal. Whew. Speaking of back to normal, once again, there is no cannon rush coming out here from Zest. We didn't really get to delve too deep into the previous game, unfortunately, just because of all the technical difficulties, and we were a little bit all over the place, so I do apologize for that. But something that Trap was really lacking there in the previous game was map vision. Any kind of map presence. He had no idea of where the army was of Zest, and because of that, he was completely pulled out of position. And we saw in basically a single move that Trap himself fell into. He fell into Zest's trap, if you will. Zest was able to just take the game just then and there. Like, things escalated very quickly.
It really did. It went from a 0 to 100. Trap was looking fantastic defending at his 4th base, but unfortunately, a bit of a whole army move, pulling back to deal with that warp in, and yeah, Zest just taking advantage of the situation. He had plenty of sentries with energy available, completely locking Trap into there. And again, I guess he just didn't have energy on his Nexuses or something. Yeah, wasn't able to recall his army out of there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too sure if maybe the recall, I don't think it was on cooldown. I don't recall any major recall used earlier.
I get it.
But yeah, so a bit of a shame there by Trap. Nicely done there by Zest. Even in the chat, we see Sir Zizzle saying that he did that against Innovation. I mean, again, like being able to pull that off against a Protoss player, though, is very interesting to say the least. Especially because Protoss technically has a way out with that recall.
Well, not in the case of the previous game.
Not at all. Not at all, mate. Meanwhile, the game is pretty interesting as both players opted to go for their low ground walls. They opted not to go for the high ground walls that we have seen throughout this entire series, both going for a more economic opener, prioritizing getting out their Nexuses.
Yeah, we see this a bit more on Oxide, and I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going with the assumption, completely anecdotally, that it's just because Nexus blocks are so common on this map. You want to have that probe in position.
Yeah, more often than not, we see pylon blocks and like the cyber core gets thrown down as well, just to delay that Nexus. But a lot of that does come down to the fact that because on this map they want to go for a faster Nexus, as opposed to other maps. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how the meta has evolved in PvP on a map like Oxide.
Yeah, truly is. Meanwhile, both players still opting to go a bit more gateway heavy. No Stargates coming out from them just yet. No robo facilities either. Trap, meanwhile, focusing a lot more on getting his upgrades in order. So is Zest, who has 2 Twilight Councils.
I was about to say, I was honestly confused for a moment because Zest was behind in every respect in terms of his upgrades and his production. I was so confused as to why. This is why.
Huh.
I was trying to
That's
figure
what
it
he
out.
spent his gas on.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out in my head. Like, what is going on? Why is Zest so far
Listen.
not like behind the way he is? And
It's a backup.
Uh-huh.
Console, you know.
It's saying
He
he had two
wants to
upgrades
get
at once.
a Templar Archives later on, and if one of them goes down, then he can. Yeah, 2 upgrades at once on 2 bases. You know, he doesn't have a lot of gas mining.
Shaking my head, Zest. Look, he's a little bit groggy. It's early in the morning. He's just waking up. So, God
It is
damn.
Easter after all. He's a little too heavy on the chocolate.
Exactly. To be fair, so this isn't like the biggest of deals, but what this does mean is that there is a small window where Trap has +1 a little bit faster, he has Blink a little bit faster, he does have a little bit, a couple more resources to work with. We do see he's getting a faster third base. It isn't the biggest of deals, but like at the highest level of play, like this does matter.
It really does. And Trap is definitely the type of player who you give him a little bit of an opportunity like that, he will take it all the way home.
That he will. Meanwhile, at the same time, the army of Trap does move out towards the third base, but these 2 adepts, they do sneak into the main.
Nice little bit of scouting that they're getting, as well as a couple of probes here and there. Forces a little bit of the army of Trap back. And this is not ideal at all for him. He wanted to get a little bit more aggressive here in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Zest, utilizing his War Prism, gets some reinforcements done, and he's taking this engagement.
Exactly, he just completely shuts all of this down. The Blink forward, snipes the War Prism of Trap. He's able to take everything out, and from here, we'll see how much momentum he has going for him. Potentially going to go and cancel this third. If he goes,
that
but
upgrade advantage is about to be neutralized over here. There we go, both players on 1-1. Trap was able to reinforce Warp him back at home. So this third base shouldn't be in too much trouble. But that was some nice pickoffs from Zest. He takes out the Warp Prism, preventing any sort of harass coming down from Trap. He takes out the sentries, which are really a key unit here. Even if you can blink out a force field, Guardian Shell is still going to help you.
Yeah, this is why personally I'm surprised that Zest didn't keep going, because like, I mean, the third is already done for Trap. He's already starting to saturate it. Meanwhile, the third is only just now started for Zest. But here we go. Finally, the army is pushing out. He does blink on forward. There is a backup War Prism here for Trap, but it will be focused down.
Ooh, the War Prisms go down for both players, but meanwhile, Zest has an Immortal, does get targeted down by Trap, but he is still hardcore losing the fight over here. Zest has a couple of charge lots, or slow lots, sorry, to soak up a little bit of damage, and while those Stalkers were preoccupied with the Immortal, Zest just rained fire from every single direction, not carrying the advantage once again.
Yeah, honestly, this is very interesting to me, because Zest is the kind of player who I think of being as pretty aggressive, relatively aggressive, right? Like, he sees an opportunity and goes for it. But so far this game, whenever he wins a small engagement here and there, he backs off, right? Like, he takes the win, then he like calms down for a little bit. Now he is going for a bit of a counterattack, but of course, Trap has the defender's advantage. We have a shield battery on the way. Overcharge is going to be available.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that Zest didn't realize how low Trap is when it came to army supply back then. See, if he did, then this third base would have been completely neutralized.
Yeah,
but Zest still has a bit of an advantage army-wise, and he's looking impressive.
He is attempting to. Meanwhile, Trap was able to sneak a couple of Stalkers past the main army of Zest. He does get into the mineral line, and Zest was already behind in terms of workers. Now he's getting further behind. Recall is forced because Zest does blink into the main. And he's got a sentry.
A lot more. He does have a sentry. Blocks off a bloody army.
Man, Recall was already used.
Ooh. Recall was used, and he doesn't blink into the main. He is still in the low ground with the majority of his Stalkers. Zest is absolutely wreaking havoc. Those 5 probes that he lost back home doesn't matter much compared to the 11 Trap is losing now.
Yeah, but like, Zest could have ended the game then and there, but you know what happens? Immediately, Trap focused down the War Prism. Zest, unfortunately, sieged up the War Prism in range of the Stalkers that were on the low ground, and as it went down, that means no more sentries for Zest. He couldn't keep force fielding the ramp, and Zest, that could have been a game-winning move, but unfortunately, because the War Prism died, that was it. Trap was able to defend.
Defend, then gives him another opportunity to defend again, and from there on he can turn this around. He's still looking very scary. He's ahead 10 army supply, and he's got a much more sophisticated army to him.
Oh boy, and now we see Zest trying to hit the third base trap. He was a little bit spread thin, you know, he was expecting another blink into the main, so the Stalkers were not there, they were not in position. There is a shield battery here, overcharge is always available.
But Trap is saving that for when the situation gets really dire. These Zealots on both sides are just trying to go forward, but they're getting body blocked left and right. A couple more minutes, Zest is going to finish up his +2 ground weapons, and that is going to be terrifying for Trap, who is not getting the upgrade whatsoever, focusing a lot more on trying to warp in his defenses.
I mean, I don't blame him. The problem is that, like, Trap, he's been losing every single engagement this game. Like, every single fight they've had, Zest has been coming out on top. And once again, Zest is going for the move. He's blinking into the main. And the War Prism, there it is. Sentries are coming in.
A sentry, but really that's all he needs. Charge has finished up. These Zealots in the back line, or the front line, I suppose, are going to do a ton when it comes to soaking up damage here. Is a recall, but there's also a blink out. There we have it. The War Prism is looking a little vulnerable, but it does not get sniped this time. Even more probes are going down as the Zealots wreak havoc at the third base.
Mate, for the second time, for the second game this series, like, Zest, he just pulls the entire attention of Trap into one of the bases, whether it's the main, whether it's the natural, whether it's the third, and then a massive Zealot run by just completely eviscerates everything, an entire base. Trap lost 20 probes, a base, and now he's all in.
Teleports behind him. Nothing personal, Trap.
Man, what she do, man. Like, oh god. Feels bad, man, as the Zealots are warping on in. We do have the War Prism going down for Trap. This is it. This is the entire army of Trap. This is all he has left, and it is not enough.
GG Zest. Now a match point. It's crazy to think that Zest could be in the finals now if he didn't go for the cannon rush game number 1. Potentially. We don't know how that would have played out.
It's true.
But I imagine something similar.
Yeah, what I will say is that these 2 games that we've seen Zest take, he has been, I don't want to say dominant, but he goes for this move, right? He's like diverting the attention, right? And every single time it works against Trap.
He finds like the smallest gap in Trap's armor, and then he just focuses his entire force on it, tears a hole in the middle of Trap's armor, and that just leaves him even more vulnerable. How's that for an analogy?
It does. Every single time. 2 games so far. Trap, he just keeps getting trapped, mate. Keeps falling for it.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Not living up to his name over there. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of an update here on the bracket. Stats has taken out Dream 2-0.
No.
We have nothing but PvP left. That was our non-Protoss hopes being taken out. But regardless, even still, with the high level of Protoss players left, I think we're going to have some very exciting series here. We could potentially conclude this one here on Jagannatha, KBBLE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. The red Protoss player coming down from South Korea. He is known to bless them rains.
Down in Africa.
And he's looking to do it all for his boy. It's all for you, Gemini. He is Trap.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha ALE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is pink. He is representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG. It is Zest.
I now realize I failed my self-imposed challenge.
You didn't want to mention Gemini?
Well, it's like a challenge that I sort of have, right? Which is to cast Trap without mentioning Gemini unless it's relevant. Like, unless Gemini wrote a piece about Trap, which he does every now and then, or he has an interview with him or something like that.
Does a love letter count as a piece?
You know what? I'm gonna say it does. Get on that, Gemini.
Get on it, mate. And speaking of love letters, I mean, you could argue that both these players have attempted to make a love letter with their play to Rain, of course. As
that was the other challenge.
Oh god.
Yeah. But you know what? I agree with you there.
But I will say
is kind of a love letter to Rain.
Yeah, and honestly, like, Zest has been looking so good today. Like, of course, you mentioned it before, bar the failed cannon rush, it was a bit wonky, it was a bit of a clown fiesta. But other than that, like, Zest has just been on point. Meanwhile, Trap, he has been tunnel visioning a little bit too much, it seems. You know, just doesn't have the vision out there on the map, hasn't been able to just keep up with Zest. Like, he's just been struggling a little bit, today at least.
Sounds like he needs to pull a pig baby.
He does. He needs to get them observers out.
6 of them at the very least.
And you know, yeah, that would have helped as well, because you know what? Fun fact, I was actually looking at it. I believe 6 War Prisms went down in last game.
Really?
Including both players. They both lost 3 each.
Yeah. that makes a bit more sense. I mean, you kind of expect that to happen when you have blink stalker battles like that, when both players want to be as active as they can on the map.
I would argue that bar a patience game, I have not seen that many in total War Prisms go down in a PvP. Like,
well, in a patience game, you would see that many
for one player
go down for one player.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
By the way, Funara Patience, I don't think he signed up today.
I know, I feel so bad for Patience because he failed to qualify for Code A, and I'm sure that was really disheartening as well when that happened. GSL, like, it's the most important tournament for South Korean Protoss players, Korean, like,
South
StarCraft
Korean
players
in general, yeah.
Yeah. So I hope he's doing okay. I hope that didn't hit him too hard. Because we do miss him.
He's still playing in things every now and then. I really do. Apparently he played in Pink Trip Pylon yesterday, but he also played in the first round, so I wasn't awake for that.
Oh boy, meanwhile, Trap, he's turning on the aggression. Zest, he is the first player to expand, and you know what we say about PvP.
First player to expand is generally the first player to lose, and Trap, he is taking that mantra to heart. He even has all of his reinforcement pylons. He can throw down some shield batteries here, make sure that his stalkers have a bit of a pit stop. But for now, he's just using it to reinforce, and that's a very valuable way to use them.
Ooh.
He's trying to target the sentry, but he's not getting it. The force field is helping Zest out so much when there's no blink available to either player.
Exactly, that was beautiful.
Even the stalkers count.
Yeah, just like that, 4 stalkers, 4 Trap went down in the blink of an eye. That was beautifully done there by Zest. The shield battery is exposed. It does go down. So does the probe. So no more buildings are being thrown down here.
And I guess you could say that Trap can still continue to warp in, but it's slow warp in versus quick warp in. One of them is a little faster than the other. I'm just not sure which one is.
Oh god, and now with the defender's advantage with these shield batteries, it's so much more difficult for Trap to really get any momentum going. He does take out 2 stalkers, so nicely done there, but Zest, slowly but surely over time, like, he has a superior economy. He does have the faster warp ins, and the pylon goes down. Mate, he's breaking through.
This is heartbreaking to see, honestly. Like, Trap taking a massive risk here when his opponent's on match point and it doesn't quite pay out. Zest is going to be a first finalist for ESL Open Cup, the Rejuvenator.